as empath and highly sensitive soul, it is absolutely crucial that you learn to protect your energy. Because if you don't, you open yourself up to attracting all these energy vampires, negative energies, negative entities as well. And you're really soaking in all of that, and it's going to affect you negatively. You're going to feel very overwhelmed, very squeezed, very stretched, very pressured as well. And it can also affect you in your life as well, where you're just feeling not okay. And then you're experiencing all these challenges in your life and those type of things. So as empath and highly sensitive soul, it is absolutely crucial to protect your energy on a day-to-day basis. And in this video today, I want to share with you 7 tips on how you can start protecting your energy so you can protect yourself from all these negative energies that are all around you. Because you want to have a clear and cleansed energy field so you can feel better, so you can feel more centered, more grounded, more in alignment. Because you can open yourself up to then attracting negative energies, whether it is people that are draining your energy, or you're picking up their stuff and then it becomes part of you, so to speak, or you're just also opening yourself up to potential psychic attacks. And those are not fun, because psychic attacks can absolutely mess with you, mess with your life. It can even cause a lot of problems in your life if you are the victim of psychic attacks. And that is why protecting your energy is so important, because then you're shielding yourself from psychic attacks, energy vampires, negative people, toxic people, negative energies, and even, like I mentioned, negative entities as well. Because negative entities, they may then also feel drawn to you because you're an empath, you're a highly sensitive soul, so your light is already much brighter than many other people, right? So those negative entities, they're then attracted to your light. So they're just like, oh, there's a light, let's go there. And then if you're not protecting your energy, you can be affected by that as well. And that too can then affect you in your life. For example, things that can happen when you are attracting those negative energies and when you're negatively affected by those energies is that, for one, you can have physical discomfort where you're having some kind of illnesses that you don't really know what it is, where it comes from, or you're not really sure how to get rid of it or whatnot. So it's those unexplained pain in your body or illnesses and things like that. That can be from negative energies, because as you're storing all that energy, you're an empath, you're a sponge to all the energy. You're soaking up all that energy in, and it can become part of you. And that's when usually dis-ease happens or sets in. Same thing when you are around toxic people or negative people. You can also take on their stuff, making it yours. So then you start believing the things that they believe. And even though you really don't believe it, but it becomes your truth because you're taking on their stuff. So it can also cause you to, let's say, have your life starts falling apart. And that's usually what happens when you're under a psychic attack, where maybe your bank account starts draining, all of your money just kind of leaves. Like you have so many bills coming in, so much stuff is happening. Or let's say you have a business and all of a sudden clients start falling away and money just kind of dries up, things like that. Or you start losing people in your life for various reasons, or it's just so much drama and problems in your life. So that's usually the more intense side effect of psychic attacks. But all of those things can happen when you don't protect your energy. That's why, like I mentioned, it is so crucial that as an empath and highly sensitive soul, we protect our energy field. We're protecting us from these negative energies. So let me share with you those 7 tips on what you can do to really protect yourself. The first tip is you want to set clear and strong boundaries, but then also stick to your boundaries. And here that's boundaries on all levels. It is physical boundaries, right? It is spiritual boundaries, it is emotional boundaries. So you want to have boundaries on all levels, right? And here what I mean with that is like the spiritual boundaries is that you're basically revoking any access and you're denying access to you on a spiritual level, that you're like, nope, I'm not open to this. I'm not open to, energy drains. I'm not open to any entities attaching themselves to me. I'm not open to psychic attacks. So, and here it's also very much about intention. You stating, I'm not open to this. I'm not available to this. I revoke any and all access that I have given consciously or unconsciously, knowingly or unknowingly. From this point forward, I'm basically closing your doors, right? You want to do that on a spiritual level so you're not attracting any of that. On a physical level, you also want to set those boundaries. So here, for example, if you're always overgiving, right? You want to maybe stop over giving and then give yourself a little bit more. Or if people, they constantly pile more stuff onto your plate, they want more stuff from you, then maybe say no more often, right? Or only say yes when you really want to say yes. And here's a little suggestion on what you can do is, if you do need to say yes, here what you want to do is, you want to acknowledge that you actually want to say no. You want to acknowledge that, because otherwise, if you're just ignoring it, it's like you're feeling forced you have to do that. But if you're acknowledging that, yes, I really don't want to do this. However, I choose to do it anyways because X, Y, and Z. Because, well, if I don't do this, then, well, I lose my job. Or if I don't do this, then maybe this person, whatever, right? So if you're choosing to do it anyways, then it is a choice. If you don't acknowledge that you actually want to say no, and then you're just feeling forced, you're feeling like obligated, right? But when you're doing it on a more conscious level, really acknowledging that, yeah, I really don't want to do this. However, I choose to do it for whatever reason. Then it has become a choice. No longer a must or being forced or have to. No, then it becomes a choice. And yes, you probably say, well, I still feel like I have to do it, so I choose to do that because I have to. But still, you made a choice. There's a difference, right? Because if you're not consciously choosing to do it, then it feels forced. Then it feels like you have no choice at all. But if you're choosing to do it anyways, that's a different ball game. It's a different energy, right? So it keeps you more empowered rather than disempowered. So having those clear boundaries is very important, even when people treat you in a way that you do not appreciate being treated. Here too, set those boundaries like, nope, I do not appreciate being treated like that. So boundaries is very important, even boundaries with your time as well. You don't want to overgive if you don't have time for yourself. So boundaries is very, very important. So that's the first tip, is you want to set clear and strong boundaries. And then, of course, you want to stick to your boundaries, because setting boundaries and then letting people walk all over you is not really helping. So set those clear and strong boundaries and then stick to your boundaries. If you can't stick to your boundaries, then make it a choice that you choose to do it anyways for whatever reason. Then the second tip is, you want to have a daily spiritual hygiene protocol in place, or procedure, or whatever you want to call that, right? Basically, where each and every day you cleanse your energy field, you cut any cords, you revoke any and all access, invitations, permissions that you've given knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously, to really come back into a sovereign state of being. And you also want to recharge. And for the recharging, what you can do is you can plug into Father Sky and then Mother Earth, really bring down the white light, the waterfall of white light, washing away anything that doesn't serve you. And from down below, connecting with Mother Earth, really soaking up the beautiful energy. That can recharge you. So having that spiritual hygiene protocol in place on a day-to-day basis is going to help you. So here what you can do is in the morning when you first wake up, because guess what? When you're sleeping, you may just think that, yeah, well, you're just sleeping, but you're actually traveling into the astral plane. Well, have you ever had some really off-the-wall dreams and you woke up in the morning and you're just like, oh my God, I feel so exhausted, so drained? Well, it's because you've done work in the astral plane, right? So you may have been negatively affected by, entities, dreams, maybe did astral travel or whatnot, right? So you can do that in the morning. Cleanse and clear anything that you may have attracted, revoke any and all access, invitations, permissions because like I said, you may have attracted something during the astral, when you were sleeping during the astral plane. And then also in the evening, when you come home from your busy day, or right before you go to sleep, for example, however you want to do it, but in the evening would be great, evening or nighttime, to cleanse away, clear away anything that you picked up from throughout the day. That is also very important, because then you're keeping your energy field cleansed and cleared. Then the third tip is, try to stay away from toxic people as much as you can. Now, of course, if they're family members or anything like that, or co-workers, you may not be necessarily able to stay away from them. And here, then I'll also share with you what you can do about that. But do your best to stay away from toxic people. Let's say you have certain friends that are just absolutely toxic. And when you go there and you hang out with them, you come home, you're like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted, I'm drained, and you're just feeling not okay. then maybe here you may want to choose to also walk away from them because it's not serving you. It's not to your highest and greatest good. Now you can talk to them like, hey, you are really challenging me here, right? And have a conversation with them, maybe help them snap out of whatever negativity they're in, right? But do your best to stay away from negative people or toxic people because you are picking up on that stuff. But let's say you can't. Let's say you're not able to really walk away from people, whether it is your boss, your coworkers, family members, or really close friends that you don't want to walk away from. Then what you want to do is you want to protect your energy. And this is the fourth tip here. So you want to protect your energy. And here what you can do is you can invoke a cloak of protection. What you do is you just tune in, really tune into your heart, and then just invoke that cloak of protection. See it maybe as a ball of white light around you, or like, kind of like a cloak, like something that you can put on. Whatever it is, whatever works for you, but just invoke that cloak of protection. Now you can also do it as like a field around you, so you have more space, so you have more room rather than just that cloak over you. But you want to really invoke that. And this is like your energetic fortress, so to speak. You want to maybe even program that as well, that nothing can come through. Nothing that is not of the light can come through. Right? That only things that are to my highest and greatest good, only energies that are of the light, that are to my highest and greatest good, are welcome in, but anything else is not welcome. Right? You can also program that cloak of protection that it transmutes and returns to sender anything that is trying to come at you that is not of the light. Any negative attacks, negative energies, or anything like that, you want to transmute it and then send it back with love and consciousness attached. Return to sender, right? So you can do that too, but using that cloak of protection. And here, you can also do it in the morning when you first wake up. You can do it in the evening or at night, but right before you go to bed, so you can be protected at night. And here also program your cloak of protection to protect you at nighttime, during astral travel. So you can do that. But then also, let's say you're going somewhere. Let's say you're going to the store. That usually is very challenging to you. Also, invoke that cloak of protection. And then program it to protect you wherever you're going, right? So using this whole cloak of protection can be very beneficial whenever you're around, toxic people, a lot of people, or things like that, or even just in general, just protecting yourself on a day-to-day basis so you're not affected by the energy. Now, you could also be affected negatively by the cosmic energies as well. Now, here, a cloak of protection can also help you so you're not as affected by these cosmic shifts and cosmic events. Now, you still want to let in the codexes, the upgrades or whatnot, but maybe program your cloak so it won't be as intense. So it only comes in a gentle way, so it's not so overwhelming. So that's the fourth tip. Now, the fifth tip is you want to also cleanse and clear your space regularly. Now, this is like your home, your office, even your car, for example. You want to cleanse and clear it. You can use a sage or any incenses or anything like that. Anything where you can really smudge your room, your home, your surrounding, your space. If you are working with higher guides, you can even call in your guides and ask them for support as well to cleanse and clear anything that is not here. One of the things that I also like to do is I really imagine there's white light coming out from my heart center. It's really pushing out like a kind of like a shock wave, so to speak, and pushing everything with the intention. This is all about intention, really pushing that white light out of my heart center. Even like sometimes I put my hands up to have the light coming out of my hands. Basically pushing out any negative energy out of my home, out of my office, out of my space, and really transmuting with the intention to transmuting anything and everything that is not of the light into love and light. So that is another thing you can do, but you want to periodically and consistently cleanse and clear your space. Now, let's say you have some not so pleasant people coming into your home. Let's say you have some technicians coming into your home, or plumbers or electricians or anything like that. Or maybe some friends are coming in and their energy wasn't all that great. Then you definitely want to smudge your place to really cleanse and clear out any leftover energy, because you don't want that in your home, right? Think of it like that. Someone walks into your home with some really dirty, muddy shoes and leaving footprints all over the place. You're not just going to tell them to leave and then leave the footprints there. You're going to clean it up. It's the same thing. Whenever someone comes into your home, comes into your space, they also have that energetic footprint that they're leaving behind. So you want to cleanse and clear that out so it doesn't affect you negatively, because you're going to pick up on that, whether you're aware of it or not, but it can affect you negatively. Then the sixth tip is try to avoid crowds. If you're very sensitive and you haven't really mastered the whole thing of protecting yourself, then try to avoid crowds. Don't go to places, let's say concerts or festivals or events, or even just, go into the store during rush hour, like whenever there's a lot of people there. Try to avoid that, because you're then also picking up a lot of that energy from all these different people. And when we're talking crowds, there are a lot of people there, a lot of different energies, and you want to protect yourself. So try to stay away from it. If you do have to go, use that cloak of protection. Cleanse and clear your energy field afterwards, to cleanse it away. And then maybe then also take some time out for yourself, which then actually brings me into the seventh and final tip is that make self-care and time alone on a daily basis a high priority and even a must. Because you need time as empath, as highly sensitive soul, you need time to recharge. Now, during that time of self-care and you time or me time or whatever you want to call it, you can then do this cleansing, the clearing, the protection, whatever it is, right? But you really want to ground yourself then also. Ground yourself, recharge yourself, do what you need to do to really feel good, feel okay. You want to also collect your thoughts. If you are feeling a little off, you then also want to tune in to see, what is this mine? Is this someone else? What am I meant to learn from this? What's the message, lesson, gift here? And things like that. So making time for yourself, making self-care part of your daily routine is absolutely important. And I really want to invite you, make that a high priority and even a must. As empath and highly sensitive souls, we are just a little different. And not in a bad way, but we just need that alone time. We need that time to ourselves where we can just do our grounding, cleansing, clearing, protecting, and whatnot. Also, maybe even go outside more, connect with Mother Nature. That also is a great way to really center yourself again, to ground yourself, to just recharge as well. But here are the 7 tips of how you can really protect your energy. I'm curious to know, what are you doing to protect your energy? Do you have any specific processes or procedures or protocols or whatnot that you use to really protect yourself? Leave me a comment below. I would love to know. I'm always open to learning something new. But here are the 7 practices that I do on a regular basis to protect my energy. I'm an empath. I'm a highly sensitive soul. So it is really crucial. And the more you do that, the stronger you also become. So if right now you're really challenged to go into crowds, the more you do this of protecting and cleansing and clearing and really protecting your energy, then it will be easier for you to go into a store, for example, or go somewhere where there are more crowds. Now, I still don't go during like rush hour, or let's say Black Friday or those days after the holidays when it's like totally crazy. I stay away from those. But now I can go to the store even during times when it is busier. It doesn't bother me like it used to. It used to be so bad that when I came home, I had to take a nap because I was so wiped out and so drained. So the more you do this, the easier it will then become. But still, you want to honor how you feel. If something is just too much for you, then don't do it. Or then at least acknowledge that you don't want to do it, but then choose to do it for whatever reason. Like I said, make it a choice, right? But here you go. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button. Maybe share it with someone that you think could benefit from hearing this. Maybe another empath or highly sensitive soul that is struggling that you know of. Send them the video. I would greatly appreciate it. But thank you so much for being here. Now, be sure to check out this video. It's a beautiful light language activation to help you protect yourself from those negative energies and even psychic attacks. So I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Until then, make an amazingly abundant and joyful day. Namaste.